Let's get it. Shoo. Um, yeah. So Genaria, I hope I said the name right. So we're close to launching the pulse chain snapshots coming very soon. I guess. How do you see the price of Hex in the next few weeks? Basically, we're going to get somewhat of a pump. I mean, a really lackluster pump on Hex would be like 18, 20 cents. I would be quite disappointed, but it's still a decent like price pump. If it was that lackluster, we would basically get the price to go down to about 9 to 6 cents, basically. I think in every single scenario after the snapshot, there is going to be a nice dip on the hex price. So be fully prepared for that. So if you're fully snapshotting, that means you're not selling any hex coins or anything like that. Be fully prepared as soon as the snapshot's over, whether it's lackluster or very, very bullish, that there is going to be a pretty massive dump on hex. Depending on if we get a higher price on hex, then the dump is less severe. But the more lackluster the pump, the more kind of dramatic the dump is for the price of hex. So be fully aware of that. I'm kind of looking at about a 5.5 to 6 cent kind of bottom there for hex, but I'll be DCAing on my way down. So like if for some reason, like let's just say the price manages to reach somewhere like 25 cents to 33 cents on the pump, then I'll be looking to kind of get back in around 13 cents, 11, and just take whatever the market gives me in terms of a discount on hex. Because as soon as that's over, right? So as soon as the snapshot, the fork, whatever everyone wants to fucking call it, when all that's done, what's going to happen then is there's going to be another slight pump, not as dramatic, but it's going to be more of a people accumulating hex in order to bridge hex over. So there's going to be quite a lot of people who are whales and stuff that are not going to market sell any of their hex. They're going to keep their stakes there, and they're going to collect a lot of liquid hex, and they're going to try to bridge it over into pulse chain once the bridge is open. So there's going to start being a slight kind of like halfway pump on hex to get the hex price to a certain point. So let's just say, as an example, right? Let's just say I'll do very kind of bearish numbers real quick, just to give you a little bit of a like an overview of what I think. So let's just say it only gets to 22 cents, then it dumps down, it hits a bottom of 9 cents, and then we're just chilling at like 9, 10 cents. And then as a snapshot comes, as the actual pulse chain launch, soft launches with no bridge, then the bridge opens. During that no bridge phase, where it's like a day or two, where assets are being kind of flung around with no essentially cost basis, the price of hex is more than likely just going to start trending upwards, because people are just the anticipation of like, oh, let's get it in. Woo! We need to get in. We need to get into the pulse chain. We need to get into the pulse chain. We need to get into the pulse chain. Oh my god. And that'll cause a secondary pump. And then we could actually see if 22 cents, let's just say 22 cents was the top for the snapshot, right? Which I would think is a little low, but let's just say it is, just to keep the numbers fair. Then we're pretty much looking at a pump back to 16 to 18 cents, not back to 22, but that's still pretty good. So if you end up taking little profits there, and then it comes down, you buy back in, and you're in pretty good profits in USD value and in more hex value, which is pretty nice. And then from there, you can essentially yield farm hex p hex. But I would just advise you guys to wait until like a lot of the impermanent loss and the ratio kind of skews off of a p hex and pulse chain, and then I'm sorry, p hex and hex. And then from there, if you want to provide liquidity at that point, then that'd be a better yield farming opportunity, where you aren't going to receive as much impermanent loss, and you can keep more of a stable balance between your hex and your p hex, if that makes sense.